What's up, guys? My name is Jake Towell and welcome back to my art series where I share with you guys some pieces throughout my art career. Today we have another dragon for you guys. I really love dragons. It's something I really enjoy drawing and have always drawn for as far back as I could remember. And this one specifically was heavily inspired by an old piece that I made, and I've also made a video on this one, Double-Mouthed Dragon Plant. So if you haven't seen that one, go check that out. But this one's kind of a level up. This one's got 3 mouths. This is a triple mouthed dragon, hence the name of this drawing, Triple Mouth Long Winged Marshmallow Dragon. Like I said, really amped talked about this piece today. Really love this one. So without further ado, let's get right into the sketch phase. So here we have a pretty hectic sketch phase. Like I said in past videos, the sketch phase is kind of where you can see if I really knew what I wanted to do or just trying to get a concept down, not a really full grasp or understanding of what I really wanted to conceptualize. And here we kind of have a little bit of both. The dragon itself, kind of iffy on exactly what I wanted to do. There's tons of little details in this one, so I kind of see why. But more or less, you kind of get a very good grasp of how this one turns out. But there is a lot of changes from this to the line work phase. So speaking of the line work phase, let's check that out. Very proud of this line work. Like I said in the last video, I'm posting these in order as I made them. So this one was made a couple years back, I believe in 2023. And I'm kind of really finding my style in this time period. And this line work is so clean. Obviously some things nowadays I wouldn't really replicate, some things I would change, but it's been a couple years since then obviously, and I've gotten a little better, I'd say. But overall, this line work looks super good. Really proud of how filling it is. Everything looks very precise and well articulated. So without further ado, my favorite part of every video, let's talk about the fully rendered piece. All right, guys, here we have Triple Mouth Long Winged Marshmallow Dragon. You're probably wondering where the marshmallow comes from, but we'll get to that here in a second. Really love the colors in this piece. This piece has such beautiful colors. I like to use very vibrant, solid colors, and here we have a lot of more mute colors, but still nonetheless, they all pop really well. Moving down to that front arm, it's really cool how I made these wings here. So you can see that front right claw, really cool talons going on there, but attached to the back of the arm or the hand or whatever you want to call it is the wing. So moving up from that arm is this really cool kind of double-sided wing. Usually traditionally wings have like one side of the actual flap. So we have the flap going left here, and then on top we have it going right. Hence the title of the piece, Long Winged. So it's kind of like a double-decker wing, which is such a really cool and unique concept that I really enjoy about this dragon. Dragons have very specific thematical attributes, and I really went crazy with this one. So I'm definitely proud of how I articulated the wings and kind of where they're coming from as well. I never want to make things too symmetrical, so there's a lot of different render aspects of these wings, but overall it came out really nicely. During this time, I drew a lot of rings going in and out and around things. And as you can see, it gets pretty crazy with the rings, but we'll get to that here in a second. At the bottom of the neck, we have this dragon heart that's exposed, his weak spot, if you will, because this guy looks pretty OP. I mean, he's taking a lot of self-damage in a lot of places. You know, we got his teeth going through his own face, we got hooks around him, and he's still up and running, so this dude needs a weak spot. And overall, just conceptually looks really cool. I do this a lot in a lot of my pieces, even still to this day, drawing like an exposed heart area, and of course a lot of veins going in and out and around. We got more veins on the wing there. Really cool, like bright hot pinkish reddish pink to that really dark blue. Just looks really cool and pops really nicely. And I also, back to the arms and the wings itself, I enjoy this more mute orange color that I chose, as well as this very mute blue color that I chose for the dragon himself. Together they work really nicely, and again, just make the image pop so much more. So let's talk about the first mouth on. This mouth starts and ends in various different spots. So you could say it's probably more than 3 mouths, but I counted this as 3 mouths, and you'll kind of see why. We got the top of the dragon. Here you see his actual eyeballs there. He's got a couple sets of eyeballs, but here I'd say is probably his main eyeballs. We have a little 2 nostrils there, and we got our first mouth, which looks super, super cool. Obviously rendered in the Jake Towel style. And I went with these very daggerish shaped teeth to kind of mimic those front claws that look really, really sick. And we got a really long tooth coming up and busting through the top of his first mouth. Moving to the right, we have this floating mouth. And what's really cool about this floating mouth is it has this big crooked tooth going up and through the top of the second mouth. You can see second mouth, second nostrils, third mouth, third nostrils. There's the theme I was talking about before. And that tooth is actually breaking open and exposing this green cloud that's coming out of it, which is really, really cool. Maybe a toxic cloud. Maybe this is also a toxic dragon. And again, what's really cool about this mouth is it's kind of floating. The only thing connecting this top portion of the mouth to the actual body of the dragon are these 2 rings here. So he's almost dependent on these rings. It's more or less just an illustrative style of mine to kind of do that, and overall just makes it more unique and conceptually cool. But I really, really love this second mouth. You can see it kind of all leads. Like I said, you never really know where one ends and starts because they're all kind of attached. But this second mouth is really, really cool. It's doing a lot for the visuals, and I just really love it. Moving into the third mouth, this is the main mouth, I would say, the main eating and attacking mouth. We have another eye section here. What's really cool is this eye section is kind of split up. You can see this gap here. We got a lot of rings going around and through this gap here, but this is actually a gap in the skin that heads into this eye tube. And we have those eyes coming up through that second mouth chin. We got a flame piece kind of busting through this eyeball, which is really, really cool concept as well. Kind of looking at that marshmallow. Again, marshmallow dragon. I guess his only weakness is marshmallows, and this marshmallow render is so perfect. I mean, this is a perfect marshmallow in my opinion. Leave it in the comments down below how you like your marshmallows. This is a perfect marshmallow in my opinion. Hence the dragon's excitement to see this little guy in the corner. But we'll get to him. We got another eyeball here, kind of getting stabbed through by this crooked blade from this tree branch knight guy holding that marshmallow, which is really, really cool. Marshmallow's also getting torched by the flame. He's helping him out. Down at this mouth, we see the actual seeping of the toxin coming out and flowing into the bottom of the composition and up to the left, kind of just bringing that green color everywhere in the composition and making your eye flow left to right very nicely. Kind of comes up and around, then you follow the wing down and you see the flames, then you move down to the eye. I think I do a really good job of moving your eye around my illustrations, and this is a perfect example of that. And here we have his enemy, his knight slayer, if you will. And he's a pretty cool rendered helmet there. A lot of gold, a lot of silver. He's got this really weird looking wiggly arm. I drew arms like that a lot back in the day, holding that sword. What's cool about that sword is from the hilt, the metal hilt, to the actual blade at the top holding the marshmallow, it's separated by this crooked tree branch, which again is just a very unique concept that I really, really enjoy. I guess another thing is those veins are coming out and through his cheekbone, I guess you could say, and kind of spilling over his face. And you can see that actual long tooth going in through the smoke and out through the bottom is popping out there towards his heart. That's awfully dangerous if you ask me. And I think the most visually interesting is this really cool rendered dragon flames. We got a little bit cooking the marshmallow. We got some busting through the eye. This is the only part of this piece that has colored line. It's so clearly flames, but it's also so alien. This is such a unique dragon, so I didn't want it to have such a generic looking flame. And I think this flame color render was very successfully done and overall brings this concept together. And again, I really love this piece. Triple mouth, long winged marshmallow dragon. Definitely one of my top 5 favorites to this day. If you want prints of this piece, linked in the description down below is my store. Also, stay tuned. I'm creating merch, t-shirts, hoodies, clothing, all that good stuff coming very, very soon. And this is definitely one that I'll have on t-shirts. So stay tuned for merch coming very, very soon. But if you want prints of this piece, again, linked in the description down below is my link tree. You can click on store and there you can see this piece and many other sick ones. If you enjoyed this video, consider leaving a like. I have tons of art already posted on this channel, so go check those out. If you enjoyed videos like these, consider subscribing. I really, really appreciate you guys for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.